Welcome back to Kevin Savage TV. My name is Kevin Savage, and today we are going to look at 5 free plugins that I think you should check out. So let's hop into Ableton. All right, we are now in Ableton, and the first plugin that we are going to look at is by a company called Izotope. This plugin is called Vinyl. It's a re-release of an older version of the same plugin. They revamped it to make it a lot closer to their new line. It's a very simple interface with very simple design, but definitely worth it. Super powerful in the lo-fi space. You've got your different time frames of kind of record sounds. This is going to be useful, especially for like if you really want to filter out the highs and just focus on kind of the mids and stuff like that, or filter out the lows and really kind of have this kind of like mid-high sort of range. Super useful. I find it to be powerful on like breaks on like a lo-fi track. You also have the lo-fi enable switch, and it's a spin down RPMs. You can add some dust and scratch and warp and some electrical noise. So let me just go ahead. I'm going to throw it on a piano so you can hear what it sounds like. It's at the 1950s. You can bring it even back to like the 1930s. Or 2000s. As you can hear, more of the sonic spectrum is introduced. The spin down feature is super cool. And then you can bring it back. And I really like the lo-fi switch as well. Now this obviously can be applied to anything. It can be applied to instruments, drums, etc. So something that I like to do with it is apply it to the whole track, especially on breaks. And this is what it sounds like if done that way. So definitely worth checking out. The next plugin, also by Izotope, is a plugin called Doubler. This is a perfect plugin for vocals to really kind of expand the vocal sound. Waves has a Waves Doubler, but this one is free, so it's definitely worth checking out. Here is what the clean vocals that I'm going to use sounds like. You and me together. Oops, that's not clean. You and me together. Right. And then we can add in stuff. We can add in the doubler, and this is the doubler interface right here. You can adjust. You could hear like kind of the separation as well as its variation. So if we were to go like 100% separation, this is what it would sound like. You and me together, we could be. This is 100% separation, 100% variation. You and me together, we could be anything. Anything. Now keep in mind this is with the effect on. You can also dry wet it, but in this case I'm just layering them up. So we're going to do 100% separation, 100% variation. Mix that with the dry signal, and this is what you get. You and me together, we could be anything, anything. You and me together, we could be anything, anything. And then, of course, add in a little bit of reverb. You and me together, we could be anything, anything. Definitely a great way to kind of beef up those vocals inside the mix. Another plugin we're going to take a look at is a free plugin by the company Cable Guys. This plugin is called Pancake 2. It's just a creative auto pan plugin. So this is the sample. It's that same piano sample without Pancake. And then we add on some Pancake. This is a custom little panning thing that I drew out here to really show you kind of the extreme pans that you can do. You can do really basic, simple pans and some very gentle pans, and of course some more aggressive pans. And you can even randomize it. But this is just an example of what it would sound like. So let's check this out. Super aggressive panning. If you don't have headphones on, you better put them on. I'll play this again. So as you can see, it just kind of pushes you back and forth really aggressively. You could do more gentler. What I like about this is it's as simple as, honestly, you can draw these little curves. You can also make really aggressive cuts, and then of course randomize, which is something that you don't get from really any of the other panning plugins. So definitely check out Pancake 2. You never know when you might actually need something that has got a little bit more to it than just your standard kind of panning back and forth based off of a BPM or off of a rate. So that's Pancake. Now we're going to get into some sonic spectrum analysis plugins. We've got Span, and right now Span is on a track called Well Wishes that Offbeat, we've released through Offbeat. So check this out. Playing the track. This is Span. Let's start from the beginning. So you see it allows you to kind of analyze not only the volume, but kind of where the cuts are, where your curves are going to be. Track the in out. I put this plugin on pretty much every single one of my masters to just kind of look at, because sometimes you may think that you hear what it should sound like, but you're not actually getting a good representation based off of like your room acoustics and treatment. So having this on my master to kind of see what the final look is and comparing that to my reference, super useful. There's a lot of other miscellaneous settings that I haven't had a chance to really explore, but definitely worth grabbing it and playing around with it. You know, I'm sure there's some other videos out there. Maybe we'll do a video down the road that kind of goes into more depth on plugins like this. But for now, definitely worth going online, finding this plugin, downloading it. All of the links will be down below. So, grab it and test it out for yourself. The other plugin that's very similar to Span, but this time it's looking at specifically LUFS, is a plugin by Youlean called Loudness Meter 2. Now, this isn't the full version because the full version costs money, and this is all about the free plugins. But this is, let me throw it on here. This allows you to analyze the LUFS. And the LUFS, the difference between, of course, like LUFS and decibels is the perceived loudness. You might have something clipping with decibel within your decibel kind of range, but when it comes to LUFS, it's going to be like -18. And so this will help you kind of gauge kind of how close to being a true 0 dB you can get. So this is super powerful as a free plugin. You may already have kind of like a version of this built into one of your plugins. If you have Izotope Insight, I believe it's in there, or if you have FabFilter Pro L, both of those have this way of checking how loudly, like what the LUFS are. But if you don't have either of those plugins, because each one of them are about $200, you can grab this one for free and check where things are at. And it'll allow you to kind of limit and make adjustments based off of what you see. So this is Youlean's Loudness Meter. Finally, out of this list of free plugins is kind of the wild card. This one's called This company is called Freakshow. They've got 3 plugins. Now, the reason why I call it the wild card is because technically these aren't free plugins, but this company gives these plugins away if you want to steal them. So you can pay them for them. I think it's like $30 or $20 for 2 of their plugins. I think it's Backmask and Dumpster Fire. And then Maybe I Shouldn't Have Built You, Mission B, I think it's like $50. And so what's cool about Freakshow Industry is they offer you the option of buying, but they actually offer you the option of just downloading and using it for free, and down the road paying them back if you use it a bunch and you decide you want to support them. So I'm just going to demonstrate just very briefly kind of what these plugins can do, but you should honestly go out there and download them yourself and play with them. So the first one is Backmask. Backmask is kind of this weird like reverser with some other built-in stuff. So this is This is it on the piano. Again. So I'm adjusting the unsafe knob, and this allows me to make it weird. You can adjust some of these, I think, like character and CH channels, maybe? Honestly, I have no idea what some of these are. They don't really give you a lot of, like, information. I guess I could turn on this. It looks like it gives you a little bit more information here. Trigger mode. Mix the size. So that's Backmask. Then you also have Dumpster Fire. Let's turn this. So it looks like you can adjust the tooth. They call it the Aether. And then the other free one is Maybe I Shouldn't Have Built You. Such weird plugins, but definitely worth checking out and playing around with. You might find a use for them on maybe some drums or vocals, kind of adding in some extra character here and there. So those were Backmask, Dumpster Fire, Maybe I Shouldn't Have Built You by Freakshow Industries. So definitely worth checking out. I hope that these free plugins you find to be useful. Let me know in the comments if you've played with these before, other free plugins that you might enjoy as well, and let me know. So we'll see you in the next video. Peace.